Hello guys, welcome back to this series of HTML language. From previous video, we know that HTML allows to create web pages. So to do that, we have to learn all HTML elements. In this video, we will start by the first element, which is heading. So let's start together. The first thing that we have to do, we create our new page in Sublime. We register our page. Here, for example, heading .html. As we said, the extension must be .html. Now, we will just write HTML, and the structure, the basic structure of the HTML document is here. So here, for example, for the title, we will write heading example. We have to write between body tags. What is heading? The heading in HTML are title or subtitles that you want to display on your web page. So there is a special tag to use to write titles or subtitles. We will see together how to write that. So the tags that we have to use to write heading, it's from H1 until H6. Let's start by H1. So we have H1 here, for example, title 1. Let's repeat that from H1 until H6, and you will see the difference between H1 until H6. So we have here H1, here we will choose H2, here we have H3, 4, we have 5, and the last one 6. So here we have the second title, this one, third, and 6. So we have here 6 sentences. For each sentence we use different tag. Here H1, the second H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. So H1 defines the most important heading. So the most important in terms of size. So the biggest one, it's H1. If you want to write a small subtitle, you have to use, for example, H6. It's the least important heading. Let's try this one and you will understand it. So to execute, we will go to our folder where we register our file. And here, this is our HTML result. Let's see the result. So this is the result of our code. You can see here when we use H1, this is the size. When we use H2, it is smaller. 3, it's smaller. 4, 5, 6, until the smallest one is H6, sorry. So according to your need, you will use to work with H1 or H2 or H6. Okay, so it's according to the design of your web page. HTML heading, they have a default size. For example, the size of H1, it's always like that. 2, it's always this size, and 6 is always this size. So it's default. So sometimes you can specify the size of any heading or the style of this heading. So here what we are going to use, for H1 we can add attributes. So here this is what we call in HTML attributes to change this default description or this default size. Here style, there is a special attribute that we can use here. It's equal to. Inside the style, there is a lot of different attributes. So here, for us, we want to change the size. So there is a special attribute that we call font size. So you want the font size, and you give the font size that you want. For example, 60 pixels. This is how we can change. So it's so simple to change the default description or the default size of H1 or H2 or whenever. So here we have H1. We want to change the default size of H1. We open style, this is attribute, we have font size, it's 16. Let's try this one. We actualize our page. You can see here the difference. So the size of title 1 is changed. Let's use, for example, 100. Let's see also the size is changed. So now let's, for example, change for H4 the same thing. Let's execute. Now let's execute and see the result. We have here, as you can see, title 1, title 2, title 3, and the size of title 4 is changed. So I hope you understand the heading of in HTML. Sorry, this is what you have to know about the heading. If you want to use a title or subtitle, you have to use the H1 or from H1 until H6 heading or tags. Thank you so much for listening and see you in the next video.